I want to talk about how energy healing fits inside a total picture of cancer care, and how a little bit about my evolution of how I came to do this Facebook group, or how I came to specialize in using energy therapy for cancer care. So in 1980, I was an acupuncturist. And so in 2009, that was like, what, almost 30 years of being involved in holistic healing professionally. So, actually, it was 1982 that I became an acupuncturist. Anyway, a long time, okay? I was an acupuncturist for a long time. And people often came to me after conventional medicine could not help them. So I was very, very used to taking on serious, even life-threatening conditions. And I was often able to help where regular medicine could not. And that I was very proud of that because I felt like I understood the body in ways that a lot of people don't. So, but with cancer, it felt different. It felt like whatever the chemo and radiation were doing they just roll over whatever energy work I was doing. And the cancer would just march on no matter what I did. What I could offer people was psychospiritual support. I could reduce their pain temporarily, and I could help them feel emotionally better because I don't know, just when your energy is running better, it's with acupuncture treatments, you just feel a little better. But I was very respectful of the cancer diagnosis, and I didn't expect to change the cancer itself. And what changed me is I learned the Bankston method. I had known about it for a long time. I think since 1994. That was when I first met Bill Bankston. And I had been in the wings with his mouse research and learning about how he did things. But in about 2009, I spent a year mentoring with Bill Bankston. So not just once, but many, many, many times. We held clinics together. I took my patients and he watched me treat them, and he taught me how to manage a naturally healing tumor, which was so much more than image cycling. I learned so much more from him. But I began witnessing unexpected recoveries, and it changed how I practice. It changed how I practice herbs, how I practice acupuncture, how I practiced sound healing, because at the time I was senior faculty at the Acutonics Institute of Integrative Medicine, and I was a hotshot sound healer, and it just changed everything. Because before I mentored with Bill Bankston, I thought that if I could diagnose better and had better tools, I could fix things. And I got better and better and better and better at that. And I was very good, still am very good at all that stuff. But I couldn't touch cancer. And so I humbly told that to Bill. I said, I can't do what you do. And I said, I need to learn what you do. And what I learned was how to detach and how to witness. Those first few recoveries that I facilitated were subtle, and I was participating, but I wasn't doing anything. And I learned how to back off and witness it and cycle, do the Bankston method. But I really understood that it didn't matter if I was talking politics or praying while the healing was going on. It just really wasn't about me. So it was and it wasn't. And I learned that. And then what started happening is when the tumors would cool down, when the pain would go away, there was this field effect of light and love and peace, often, sometimes delayed, sometimes not right during the treatment. But I found that the more gnarly the tumors, the more excited I was to work with them. So what most people run screaming from, are terrified from, I actually greet with love and respect, because with great shadow, there's great light, and I knew how to experience and facilitate that. And so I got good at it. So these sessions, there was often not so much drama in the room. It felt matter of fact. It felt quiet. And paradoxically, it worked. I mean, it worked in the way that patients felt like, I feel like I'm healing. I feel like I'm getting better. And it was all happening through this relational field I was participating in. So I was doing that. So I, as comfortable as I am with cancer, as happy as I am to work with cancer, I don't promise outcomes. I don't replace oncologists. And what I do offer is that I can teach you how to be with your cancer, or with your dog's cancer, or with your loved one's cancer, in a way that facilitates the natural healing forces. And it's a very powerful way to be, and it's teachable, and it's doable. And I have a lot of experience helping people with that. And then, of course, just the managing the physical stuff, and how to work with doctors, and how to be really observation-based, not in a sterile way, but in a heart-centered way. Mind and heart-centered way, like your heart as an organ of perception, as well as your mind. So if you're here, you're probably at least curious about energy healing and cancer. And I would say you don't do it instead of oncology, you do it with oncology. You don't do it as magical thinking. You listen to all my videos and understand that, oh, there's actually a way of understanding this it's based in lawfulness. It's not just something appearing out of nowhere. Even though that it does appear as if out of nowhere, but even that has a lawfulness that I've learned how to work with as a way to remain in contact rather than collapse into fear, or collapse into clinging on to external authority, like how to just find it inside yourself and nourish what can happen here. And it doesn't mean not working with experts. It means letting yourself come into yourself in a stronger way. That is a fundamental healing force that I think is so helpful in cancer. And oncologists love body, mind, spirit work, because research has shown that when you include the mind and the spiritual aspects of yourself, the outcomes are better. So don't feel like you're betraying your doctor if you do energy therapy. Like no, you're actually doing what you like, what they want you to. And it's anyway, so that's why I'm no longer afraid to work with cancer, why I actually love doing it. And I'm aware how serious it is, and I can help you not collapse. And because collapsing doesn't usually help, all right? And standing up way too strong doesn't either.